Hi, Robert with Equipped to Endure. There's a lot of discussion that goes on about survival kits, everything from major 85-liter packs down to survival tins and little Altoid kits. You know, I've always found that the truth is always in between the extremes, and I've got a little survival kit that Adam's asked me to show you, one I use a lot. This is a kit that the basic from it I got from the idea from John McCann over at survivalresources.com. And what we have here is a little nylon pouch with two belt loops on the back. Looks very similar to a lot of camera cases and things like that, so it is easy to transport, easy to keep around without setting off a lot of bells and whistles. And inside is a small Trangia mess tin. Now, before we get into that, I'll just go ahead and show you. I do keep an extra Mylar blanket inside here because, you know, the first rule of survival, you know, starting with shelter. So I want to keep a little extra shelter with me at all times. But again, light, nothing to it, easy to keep around. The heart of the survival kit is this Trangia mess tin. What I love about this concept is, for me at least, the major flaw in a lot of survival kits is the lack of a boiling container. In this Trangia Ten, what we have, not only do we have a boiling container, but we have a boiling container with a handle and a lid. And if you look for these on YouTube, you'll find other people that have used them. People get really inventive with them, everything from drilling holes and putting in little wire cables that they'll then drop down into the kit so they can suspend this. But for my uses, just being able to set it in a fire and retrieve it is good enough. Again, like I said, having a lid, you know, if you've ever tried to boil without a lid on your container, you know how much longer it takes and how much less efficient your boil is, and so that's a major issue for me. And diving into the kit here, what do we have is, again, from Survival Resources, this is their Aqua pouch. I love this thing because, as you can see, the bottom is rounded and flared so that once you get water in it, out here in this wind without any weight in the container, it may not stand up, but it's made so that the bottom flattens out and it will stand up on its own. Also, we have grommet holes here that you can put a piece of cordage through and hang it around your neck like a canteen. Allows you to not just purify water and collect water, but actually transport it. It's also got a measurement line of it on it for 1 liter mark, which most of your water tabs, and in this one I just keep 6 tabs of Aqua water purification. Most of these water purifications are set up to be used in 1 liter increments, so having that, you know, 1 liter line on the bag kind of makes it idiot proof for me, and I need that help. Folds up, and so now we have, you know, the capability to boil with the container. We have also the capability of purifying chemically with the tablets here and transporting additional water. Next, I have a couple of these Firestarters. I cannot remember which brand they are. I think these are the Great Chef. Both Lowe's and Home Depot both sell a similar product. They're just grill lighters, but as you can see, they're super thin. They light easily. If you break them up real well and powder them up good, they will ignite with a fire steel. You get about 5 to 7 minutes of burn time out of each one. And like I said, super small, easy to keep around without much problem. Next, you'll find my Strike Force. Everybody knows about the Strike Force. Your ferro rod and striker in one package. As you can see, mine's all gummed up and ugly looking because it gets used a lot. And of course, a place to store tinder on the other end. And there is a cube of wet fire in there that I periodically pull out and make sure it's not unsealed itself, because as you know, once you unseal wet fire, like most other chemical fire starters, it starts losing its combustion qualities immediately. Next, continuing with the water aspect, is my third water purification method, and this is just a Frontier water filter. This is not the Pro, this is the El Cheapo. I think this is about $10. Good for 20 gallons, which, you know, in the grand scheme of things, is not a whole lot of water, but if you think it's about a survival situation, if you were consuming a gallon a day under most conditions would keep you well hydrated, and that's 20 days. If you haven't gotten out of your survival situation in 20 days, you probably have other problems anyway. Hank of a high tensile strength cordage. I can't remember if this is the DuPont cordage or who does this one. It's basically a really heavy duty kite string, and it's just a small roll there held together with a piece of Gorilla Tape to keep it from unfolding in my pack. We often think about 550 cord as the go-to cordage for survival situations, and it has a lot of utility. It just takes up a lot of space and too big for a small kit like this. And to be honest, if you're just holding up a shelter or something, or tying up something that you need to hold together, or you know, anything like that, very seldom do you need 550 pounds, so get by really well with that. More shelter, another Mylar blanket, a couple Mylar blankets is an awful lot of help in a bad situation. You know, everything from wrapping them around you and then put your clothes back on to add extra insulation, to making shelter, you know, stringing up to make a lean-to or whatever, what have you. Out of a tops knife, of course, your always present survival whistle, being able to notify people. Everybody knows that, you know, it's easier to blow one of these and sound carries a lot further than what your voice will. This just happened to be the smallest, thinnest one I could find that fit well in this kit, so that's why it's in there. You may get the impression looking at this kit that I'm a little fire obsessed, which I am. Luckily, I found the survival industry and didn't end up a pyromaniac in jail. Military Trioxane, a lot of people have used it in the past. A lot of people got away from it recently. It is a solid state, basically formaldehyde, which does give off, you know, toxic fumes when it's burning. I don't generally worry about that if I'm in an, you know, open area like a, you know, wilderness situation. I just don't inhale while putting my face over. A couple pieces of cotton cordage that are impregnated with petroleum jelly, burns great. And with all that, I would be very remiss if I didn't make life easy on myself, so a Bic lighter. There's no point in making life harder than it needs to be. Carry your lighter. About 8 feet of Gorilla Tape, just folded in on itself, sits in the side of the container, takes up little or no space, everything from repairing plastic and Mylar to repairing my clothing to makeshift bandage if I need to. Really cheap nylon cord, available at most any big box store. You know, I can use it for shelter, I can use it for just about anything, but primarily it converts my water pouch into a canteen if need be. A hooded poncho, again, I think this is Ozark Trail, Walmart brand. $1, $2, next to nothing as far as an investment. Not the most durable thing in the world, but when the storm kicks up, you'll take any help you can get, and that's a lot of help in a very small package. So for the weight and the size, why not? I've always got a couple cutting tools on me. I have my Victorinox in my pocket, and usually because of the lifestyle I live, I do carry a fixed blade the majority of the time I'm awake and out of the house. But just for the sake of having some redundancy, I keep a sterile Medicuts scalpel blade inside the kit. Again, you can see it's paper thin, takes no space, so why not? And back to fire yet again. And again, back to survival resources. Thank you, John McCann. The 4X Fresnel lens. Now, you'll find a lot of cheaper Fresnel lens out there, but a lot of times they're 2 or 3X magnification. I don't want in my kits anything less than 4. 4 is the absolute minimum. Fresnel lenses are very inexpensive, come in a little orange pouch so that you can see them. It even has the price on the pouch. According to this, I paid $1 for it. And then the tin itself, as you can see, you can put a little over 2 cups of water in this thing. It is aluminum. If you're worried about Alzheimer's, I would not suggest using this on a daily basis. In a survival situation, I promise you nature will kill you quicker than Alzheimer's. Boil your water, live to worry about the Alzheimer's the next day. Again, a lot of stuff in a small kit, easy to carry because of the little nylon bag it fits in. It blends in real well. These actually, John sells these in a couple different colors. I think black and maybe even orange. And back to the original premise. Survival kit in a can with a lid that fits in a nondescript package that you can carry with you most any environment and not stick out like a sore thumb. For me, that's a winner. May not work for you, but that's what I do. Robert with Equip to Endure. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me at robert@equiptoendure.com. Take care, be safe, and remember, if you're not always prepared, you're never prepared.